7, an arrest in a cold case dating back nearly 2 decades.
Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis announcing murder charges today in the gruesome killing of 24-year-old Nicole Alston. Atlanta News First reporter Adam Murphy live outside the Fulton County DA's office in downtown Atlanta.
Investigators said Nicole Alston's body was found on the side of the road in a burning bag back in 2007. Her remains were not identified until 2024.
This is a picture of the defendant.
Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis announced the arrest of Angel Thompson in connection with the 2007 murder of 24-year-old Nicole Alston.
We are going to take our time so that we put together an indictment correctly, but it will involve human trafficking as well as this murder because we believe that this victim was trafficked prior to her murder.
According to the arrest affidavit, Thompson and Alston moved from New York to Georgia 18 years ago. They lived together at the Genesis Gardens Apartments in Palmetto. It was here that investigators say Thompson brutally murdered Alston, dismembered her body, and dumped it on the side of the road in Troup County.
It's beyond the pale of what it took to do this. It took a true sociopath to do what happened here.
Investigators said it took many years of police work and high-tech DNA testing to identify Alston and then begin to track down who they believe was her killer.
The reason that they were not able to identify her is because until this day, we still have not been able to find her hands, her feet, or her head.
Upon further investigation, detectives said they discovered that Thompson used Alston's identity after the murder to receive nearly $140,000 in government benefits for 8 years.
Continue to open email accounts, to continue to open bank accounts in the victim's name, to continue communication with SSI and HUD housing to receive those benefits. It's astounding that she was able to do what she did for how long she did it.
Alston's mother, Sylvia, said her daughter had dyslexia and was dependent on others, which could explain why she was victimized.
She didn't deserve this. And I wish I never let her come to Georgia.
And back outside the Fulton County Courthouse here in downtown Atlanta, Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis said if there is any information regarding any other women
Welcome to Donna Just Being Real. Today we're gonna get into this topic here. I just showed the news clip, and now we're gonna watch the press conference. And this is interesting. And just like I said, how was this woman able to use her identity for years like this? This is insane. All right, so let's get into the press conference. And what you do is please hit the like, share me out, and all that good stuff. You need to reach out to me. Look in the description. All right, let's get it.
Announce the arrest of Angel Thompson. This is another cold case that will be prosecuted by this office. I want to allow most of my time to let you all ask questions. So much of what I'll do is just introduce people. First, I think that we should start with Mr. Clay Bryant. Clay Bryant is here. He is with the Troup County Sheriff's Department. It is because of his diligence and just really unwillingness to give up the fight for justice that brings us here today. But everybody needs a partner in life, and it seems as though he found one in Sandy Springs Police Department Detective John Nanoff, who has done an amazing job putting this together. And if you have been here with us for other cold cases, you know that Cheryl McCullum of the Hateville Police Department has been an integral part of this case. This case involves what are just horrific facts. We know that we had a young lady move down here like young people do to start her life, Miss Nicole Alston, and that's a name that I want you to remember because that is the important name. She was 24 years old at the time of her death. When they found her body, it was cut. They found 13 pieces of her body, but they were not able to identify her. And the reason that they were not able to identify her is because until this day, we still have not been able to find her hands, her feet, or her head. And so there was no way to identify her. It is modern science and really the Sheriff's Department who decided many, many years ago to load up the DNA from this case into the system. Luckily for us, Miss Alston's sister tried to do Ancestry, and that was the first time that we were able to identify this young lady. Once we identified her, we were able to find really a wonderful story and a trail of love. I have here today with me Miss Sylvia Alston. This is Miss Nicole Alston's mother. What you will find out that her and this detective have a lot in common, that once her daughter went missing, she returned to Georgia no less than half a dozen times to try to locate her, and was helped by the Palmetto Police Department and other police departments, but was never able to locate her daughter. And unfortunately, now we know why. Her daughter was no longer with us. He was with God at that time. I do want you all, like I said, to have time to ask very specific questions. I can tell you that we are going to take our time so that we put together an indictment correctly, but it will involve human trafficking as well as this murder, because we believe that this victim was trafficked prior to her murder, that this involves classic domestic violence, where the young lady was basically not going to allow both her lover and, I hate to say such a nasty term, but really cash cow, the person that was bringing her money, go. And it ended tragically in this death. And so we very much plan to pursue this, but we're going to take our time with this indictment, but expect an indictment around the end of October. With that, I would like you to be able to ask questions, mainly of our detectives in this case. So if you will step forward. So. Again, this, like I said, is the person that would not let this case go. Are there any questions that you specifically have for him?
Sir, if you could first just talk about just the emotions involved in this case and to finally bring some answers to the family.
I'm a parent as well. And
he trotted through the twilight wood.
The feelings of frustration and abandonment that, that Ms. Alston must have felt when she couldn't get back in touch with her child, knowing something's wrong. And it's just, I couldn't imagine it. I've dealt with a few of these situations before, and these families just go through so much. And, everybody talks about closure, and, there ain't no such thing as closure. You got birthdays and Christmas and Thanksgiving and family things, but they deserve some finality. They deserve the truth. And we were just lucky enough to be able to find some facts that led us to the truth of what happened to Nicole. And
Sir, can you tell us, I'm sure you've covered a lot of cases, but this one, the horrific nature of this case probably is.
It's beyond the pale of what it took to do this. It took a true sociopath to do what happened here.
I mean, how calculated was it? Looking at
Great point. Covering these stories, it takes a lot to want to dismember somebody. What kind of person can do that? Wow. That's an evil person. And then they don't care about it. Just like with Sade Robinson. He just sitting there, I'm innocent, I'm innocent. Dude, we seen you in the camera all over the place. It's insane. Only a sociopath. Psychopath too. All right, let's resume.
details less than a month after, looks like she tried to rent the room of the victim, to the years of using her identity by cars. I mean, how calculated was this process even after?
After I retired, I've been in law enforcement all my life practically, and after I retired, the sheriff in Troup County asked me to come back, which was only last year in August, and look at some cold cases that he had so early on. But I want to be sure to give the credit for early on for what had happened. The DNA was put in CODIS and didn't get a hit because she had no criminal history. And then at some point in around 2015, Sheriff's Department got some money, and they decided to try to do genealogy to try to run down who might have been a relative, and we'd have a place to start. Well, that didn't work out for us. And then
for the suspect, just to see how calculated and the continued kind of use of this victim's name. I mean, what does that kind of show you? What does that tell you?
Well, I mean, even like you said, a month after the apartment was being rented out, the night before, or the night the body was found, she was already on dating websites looking for new people to communicate with. And then, like you said, the month after, she's already trying to rent the room. She's already trying to sell the car that they moved down here with. But then to continue to open email accounts, to continue to open bank accounts in the victim's name, to continue communication with SSI and HUD housing to receive those benefits. It's astounding that she was able to do what she did for how long she did it. I've never seen something so calculated and so meticulous before, but she did it very well, and I believe did it alone, which is why it took so long to get where we are today.
How much did she take over the years? Is there any estimate?
It's approximately $139,000. Yes, between Social Security, which was a little over 60,700 some dollars. Food stamps, she received a little over $17,000, and then HUD housing, approximately 60, HUD housing was, approximately $60,000.
This continued from 2007 until when?
So end of 2007 until benefits stopped March of 2015. So eight years.
8 years.
Can you talk to just the layers of this? I mean, it looks like, there's the government benefits. It looks like she was involved with the cars, lawsuits, arrest, all as Nicole Alston for years and years and years.
I mean, she legitimately lived as Nicole Alston for that time, to the point that when in 2010, when it was time to renew Nicole Alston's driver's license, she did so with her biographical information, but she updated the picture to her own picture.
And so that brings us to a very important point, and you all want news, but we want help. I want people to go back to this time period in 2007. This is a picture of the defendant. We know that right prior to their death, that they were living at 9100 Cascade Palmetto Highway. That property during that time period would have been called Genesis Gardens. It's known today as Palmetto Reserve, but back in 2007, it would have been known as Genesis Gardens. If there is anyone that is familiar with this couple at that home and can bring forth information, we would like you to contact the district attorney's office and the lead attorney, Will Wooten. If there is any information regarding other women being victimized and trafficked, we would like you to call the district attorney's office. The nature of this case is gruesome. What happened to this young lady prior to her being killed is horrible, but trafficking didn't just start in 2023. We know that it has been going on a long time, and it is very important to us that when we bring forth this indictment, we include all of the victims in this case, so that we can get justice for them. And so if you know something about this case, please contact the district attorney's office and reach out to Will Wooten. Yes. Yes.
reason to believe she may have been grooming more people to commit similar crimes.
What we know is that immediately after he led to that fact, that immediately when this young lady goes missing, and we now know is deceased, that she's immediately trying to get other victims, other women to date. And we believe that that is the nexus to trafficking other human beings, other women.
Is it possible to hear from Miss Alston's family?
Yeah, for her mother, yes.
Ma'am, just if we could hear from your reaction to receiving this news and any words you might have to say for those who might still be out there who could possibly come forward and help with the case.
Good morning. Ask a question. I never stopped looking for her. Not receiving a call at Christmas or New Year's or birthday. It resonates because that wasn't Nicole. But she was grown, and you don't always need your witching mama. So I didn't think of it much, but she didn't deserve this. And I wish I never let her come to Georgia. Ask a question, because I'm not going to hold up well with regular stuff.
Just for those who never had a chance to meet her, for those who never got to know her.
Nicole was bubbly. She had a smile that was infectious. Yeah, Beyonce, her favorite cartoon character was Tweety. She would make these. Yes, she was an artist. Nicole had some learning disabilities that I say to her artisticness, which possibly led to her being victimized in this way. She kind of depended on people for help. She had dyslexia. And so her needing people that she trusted would have been paramount. So her coming to Georgia was brought on by this person. As I was told when she left, as her helpmate, like, oh, I'm gonna be all right. She's gonna help me. I'm gonna be okay. But she was the life of the party. Like, she was happy. And through all her trials and struggles, she always made everything seem okay. She was always the one people call on to talk to. And she didn't see life as gray as others, but I just haven't seen her in so long.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we want to thank you for coming by. We hope that you show this broadcast and really show it over and over again, because we would like additional information about this time period at Genesis Gardens. It is very important. I've been doing this now 29 years. July was 29 years. Most of it has been spent in the criminal law. This is by far one of like the top 3 gruesome cases, and her mother led on to it. We know that this young lady was taken advantage of because she had to depend on people to get around because of her dyslexia. But she had value, she had worth, and she did not deserve this. And so we're asking for the public's help today. Thank you.
Friends, romantic,
We believe that there was a romantic relationship, and you all see many times in domestic violence, and especially in our trafficking cases, there's really 2 kinds of traffickers. One that we refer to as the boyfriend, or in this case, the girlfriend human trafficker that makes you think that you love them and you care about them and you are their helpmate. The other kind of trafficker is the gorilla. Unfortunately, that girlfriend or boyfriend human trafficker often turns into the abusive person. One thing that the mother shared with us is just 10 days prior to her daughter going missing and ultimately we know being killed, that Nicole had called home and conveyed to her that this young lady had become abusive towards her and that she wanted to come home at this time period, but said she had it under control. And that
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's just the end of it. I just wanted to show this press release. And she was able to use her identity like that for years. That is so creepy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for some more of Donna Just Being Real. Adios.